Last week, we covered some great games, ones that wouldn't or couldn't exist without their precursors, but that are unquestionably better than they are. Now, this list might be missing a few qualifying games, but I've built it on the foundation of my own personal gaming experiences. So yes, I admit it's possible that I could have missed one or two that should be in this video. That being said, there are still some amazing games in here, sequels that are better than the originals in every way, and because I found so many, here's part 2 of that list. Let's start with one we can all agree on, Dragon Age 2. Now, I don't know anyone who said that they enjoyed Origins more than this one. I am so sorry, I can't get through this with a straight face. Oh man, I am joking, totally joking. This is going to be fun. That's a little better. Now, Trine was a lot of fun. But there were points that made it feel a bit like a tech demo. Trine 2, in my opinion, is the game's concept fully realized. The music is amazing. The visuals are breathtaking at points. They managed to make the environments more interactive, and provided a nice balance of gameplay between the 3 characters that you can control. Obviously, this game is a lot more fun in the co-op mode, but the game more than holds its own during the single-player experience. There's nothing quite like this 3-player puzzle platformer with light combat, collectible hunting, and fun physics. Except maybe the third one. Haven't played it yet. Maybe I should make Chris go through it with me. Say what you want about the upcoming Battlefront from EA, the second entry in this series was a great accomplishment in gaming. It was a huge improvement from the first game, offering new modes like the amazing space battles, which felt so much bigger than anything I'd ever played in a Star Wars game before. And, of course, the ability to play as Jedi characters, the heroes versus villains mode, things like Galactic Conquest, even the single-player campaign. There was a huge amount of content in here. And it was probably the best Star Wars experience, if you don't count KOTOR. I felt like I was really in the middle of these huge battles, and on the front lines of them, even, like some kind of battle front. Anyway, yeah. Great game. The very first Sims was kind of interesting, wasn't it? You got to make a family, watch them live, burn them to death when you got bored, but there wasn't much else to it. And by the third game, you were so bogged down by expansion packs that if you were lucky enough to get it to run, it wouldn't be a smooth experience. But I feel like Sims 2 struck a great balance between gameplay and content. Don't get me wrong, there was a ton of content by the end of its run, but I feel like it all integrates into the main game pretty well. The character creation isn't great, but it's not bad either. Certainly above and beyond what the first Sims offered. The only downside to this one is that there's so much to see, do, and discover that it can be tough raising a family the way you want to. But that's life, and I suppose that's what you want in a life simulator. So, good job, Sims. I know. Mass Effect 2, again. Well, I dare you to say that the original is a better game. See? You can't. Or you did, and I'm just pretending I can't hear you. Mass Effect 2 was a wonderful sequel. They added so much to the characters, even wrapped the story around rallying their support. They gave you a clear goal from the beginning and told you it was impossible to achieve. As a result, you're motivated throughout the entire game to prove everyone wrong. And if you actually succeeded in doing that, it was the greatest feeling in the world. Man, I guess the third one should have taken its cues from that, right? Anyway, the combat is more intuitive, the universe is bigger and certainly prettier. The story is more interesting and personal, and the characters take more of a front seat. I really can't help but love this game.
Have you got a minute?
Can it wait for a bit? I'm in the middle of some calibrations.
Talk to you later, Garrus.
I'll be here if you need me.
Granted, I didn't play much of the first game, but Team Fortress 2 being so well known in the gaming community goes a long way toward proving my point that it's better than the original. The marketing on this game continues to be its driving force. Remember when you had to pay money to play it? And hats aside, the gameplay is fast-paced. The classes are all interesting and very different from each other. It's incredibly team-focused. The visuals are a lot of fun. And the universe the game's built in is actually really interesting if you take the time to dive into it. Oh, and if you haven't seen any of Valve's short films based off of the game, Google them right now. Regardless of your feelings toward the game itself, the films are incredible. I'm telling you, this is one of the best marketed games in history. And it's a ton of fun. Win-win. I hope you enjoyed this video. But please take note that these are just based off games I've actually played. If I missed some, which I'm sure I did, let me know. I'd love to dive into a new franchise, especially if I know that the sequels are going to be better than the original games ahead of time. Anyway, that's all I've got for you this week. Until next time, everybody.